Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Warriors' major front office strength showcased again in preseason surprise. Entering Saturday's preseason opener against the LA Clippers, few would have thought that Lindy Waters III was going to emerge as one of the major storylines for the Golden State Warriors. Granted, his minutes came after the regular rotation players were removed from the game, but Waters still made the most of his first opportunity in a Warrior jersey. The 27-year-old had a game-high 15 points on 5 of 7 three-point shooting, including a crazy buzzer-beating game winner that propelled Golden State to a 91-90 victory. Based on Saturday's performance, Waters deserves an opportunity to play alongside some of the more senior Golden State players. He's the third-best shooter on the roster behind Stephen Curry and Buddy Hield, having shot above 43% from three-point range in both the NBA and the G League last season. The question is how? The Warriors have too much depth on the roster as is, let alone adding Waters into the mix as another viable rotation candidate. While it is creating a logjam and legitimate issues for head coach Steve Kerr, Golden State General Manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. does deserve credit for his ability to find value at the end of the roster. Waters could be the latest in a growing list of low-profile but valuable acquisitions Dunleavy has made since taking the role at the end of the 2022-23 season. Following Saturday's one-point win, Kerr paid credit to the GM for identifying Waters and trading what resulted as nothing but cash for the 6'6" sharpshooter. "We liked him, Waters, in the past when we played against him. Mike Dunleavy did a great job of finding him and trading for him. He's definitely got the skills to play our style," Kerr said. Fans may understandably criticize the team's inability to land a second All-Star over the past 12 months, and in particularly over the summer, but it's hard to find fault with what Dunleavy and Golden State have been able to do on the margins. Dunleavy's first moves were in the 2023 NBA Draft, where he took Brandon Podziemski, 19th overall, and Tracy Jackson-Davis, 57th overall, both of who became significant rotation players by the end of their rookie season. After trading for Waters in June, Dunleavy also executed what appear like team-friendly deals for DeAnthony Melton, Kyle Anderson and Buddy Hield. The new GM is building a reputation as one capable of evaluating talent that fit effectively into Kerr's system. If anything, that should only increase the Warriors' push for a blockbuster trade, with Dunleavy looking capable of filling out the roster successfully if some of the depth is decimated in exchange for a genuine all-star. Grading a trade idea that lands the Warriors a veteran shooting big man. The Golden State Warriors need a shooting big man on their roster. That's been known throughout the entirety of the summer, and was once again a prominent issue in their preseason opener against the LA Clippers on Saturday, where they shot 11 of 48, 22.9%, from three-point range as a team. It's now been a long-running issue for the Warriors ever since the departure of Otto Porter Jr. following the 2022 championship. Golden State have tried to replace that type of player in numerous ways. We've seen JaMychal Green and Dario Saric on the roster in the previous two seasons. They drafted Quinton Post with the 52nd overall pick in June, and the franchise was strongly linked to a trade for Lauri Markkanen before he renegotiated and extended his contract with the Utah Jazz. Following Saturday's one-point win over the Clippers, Steve Kerr spoke about trying to get his best players on the floor together. To his credit, he tried a high-upside starting lineup of Stephen Curry, DeAnthony Melton, Jonathan Kuminga, Draymond Green and Tracy Jackson-Davis. Kerr wants another big next to Green, but he also wants to start Kuminga. It's a complicated dynamic that wasn't overly effective against the Clippers, yet that won't stop Golden State from trying it over the remainder of the preseason. Obviously, all three guys, Kuminga, Green and Jackson-Davis, are talented players, and you want to be able to play your best players together, but it has to click. "We'll keep trying," Kerr said after Saturday's game. The need for a shooting big is obvious, even if can't be a star like Markkanen or the recently traded Karl-Anthony Towns. Enter Kelly Olynyk. He's someone we wrote about here on Sunday as a proven veteran the Warriors have had the interest in during the past, and who could be realistically obtainable based on where the Toronto Raptors are going as an organization. But what would it take to pry Olynyk out from his hometown team? Let's have a look at a potential trade between the two teams. Trade wouldn't be eligible until December 15 when Temple can be moved, but otherwise the Raptors could include another minimum contract to get the salary matching more compatible. Would the Raptors make this trade? In one of the most bizarre but hilarious statements made across the league on Media Day, Raptors center Jakob Poeltl let it be known that the franchise wasn't going to let winning get in the way of development. Toronto have an interesting roster led by a young star in Scotty Barnes, but after trading Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby prior to the midseason deadline in February, it's clear they have hit rebuild mode. To be fair, the Raptors do still possess enough talent and experience to push for a play-in tournament spot this season, yet that may not be in their best interests long-term. As well as looking at offers for Bruce Brown, Toronto should also be looking at other deals according to Forbes' Morten Stig Jensen. The Raptors could even afford to go one step further and listen to offers for centers Jakob Poeltl and Kelly Olynyk, Stig Jensen wrote back in May. If the Raptors do make Olynyk available, there would be no shortage of offers from contending teams around the league. A first-round pick would have to be included, albeit with some protections as outlined in the above proposal. Getting 2 expiring contracts in Payton and Looney also allows Toronto to open up more financial flexibility heading into next offseason. It's not a perfect trade for them by any means, but their leverage is limited somewhat given Olynyk is expected to come off the bench as the Raptors prioritize their youth this season. How about the deal from a Golden State perspective? Warriors eyeing Raptors' Kelly Olynyk as trade target after preseason. The Golden State Warriors are exploring options for a stretch big man after their preseason opener against the LA Clippers highlighted spacing issues. Coach Steve Kerr's lineup, which featured Jonathan Kuminga alongside Draymond Green and Tracy Jackson-Davis, showed potential but struggled with transition and defense. With no viable options currently on the roster and the recent trade of Karl-Anthony Towns removing another candidate, the Warriors are looking to the Raptors' Kelly Olynyk. Although he was just traded to Toronto, Olynyk's experience and shooting abilities make him an intriguing target as the Warriors aim to strengthen their frontcourt. Keeping an eye on him early in the season could help solve their lineup challenges. By the numbers, Kelly Olynyk has averaged 10.3 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 2.4 assists over his 11-year career. Olynyk shoots 48.5% from the field and 36.9% from 3 on 3.2 attempts per game. State of play: Warriors struggled with spacing in preseason opener, lineup featuring Kuminga, Green, and Jackson-Davis indicated issues. Quinton Post, the team's rookie center, had a lackluster performance, underscoring the need for a consistent scoring big. What's next? The Warriors will continue to evaluate their roster as the preseason progresses, potentially targeting Olynyk if they cannot resolve their frontcourt spacing issues. Tracking the Raptors' direction could lead to strategic negotiations as the season unfolds. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Kelly Olynyk? Leave your opinion in the comments.